Okay. Hi, everybody. Give me a one if you can see and hear me. It's such a pleasure to be here. It really is. Let's see if anyone can give me a one. Let's check the comments. Okay, Breezy. She says one, 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 one. And thank you so much for being a moderator and helping me out um, moderating this channel. Thank you to the people who have um, messaged me and have been waiting for this show because this is a big one. Okay, this is one that has been on my mind and my heart to do. And when we get into it, I'm going to tell you exactly where this message stems from. Okay, now if you're tuning in today, we are talking about idols. Have you made racism your idol? Have you made the ways of the world your idol? Have you made all of the racist rhetoric your idol? Okay, so we are going to have a very interesting show today. And for those of you who do not know, my name is Dr. Yaya Marie. I am the author of When Satan Plays Matchmaker. Okay, so listen, let's just get right into it. So we are dealing with what is an idol first and foremost. When we're talking about idols, there are tons of scriptures on idols, but the regular definition, before we get to the biblical definition, the regular definition of an idol is an object or image or representation that is worshiped as a deity, okay? Or it's really revered. It's anything that you can refer to that is admired or loved to the point where it becomes a replacement for God in your life, okay? When we're talking about the biblical definition of an idol refers to a false God, anything that takes place of the one and true Elohim in our hearts and our minds. This can include statues, pictures, physical images, of course, anything that is exalting the Most High God. You're putting these tangible things or thoughts and ideas can also become an idol when you put them before God, when you put them in place of God. Everybody with me, right? So when we're worshiping idols, a lot of times people don't necessarily know that they're being involved in idol worship. But we have so many scriptures that say, flee idol worship. Do not worship false gods. But what is it? When is it the case where someone doesn't necessarily know that they're worshiping a false god? Because everyone's not waking up and saying, hey, I'm going to bow down to this statue. Of course, we have different people and different cultures that actually do bow down to statues, to altars, and makeshift altars that has nothing to do with the Most High God. In fact, it's demonic. Okay, but there is also a way to have an idol in your life that you're not physically bowing down to. Well, how is that? When you replace the idea that God is all-knowing and all-powerful, all-seeing, he's omnipresent, he's everywhere. When you replace that with an ideology, there you have an idol. We are commanded all throughout the Old Testament, of course the New Testament as well, But you see this a lot in the Old Testament, where you should have no other gods before me. That's part of the 10 commandments, is no idols. So, and it literally says you should have no other gods before me. You should not make for yourself an image in anything, in the form of anything, in heaven above or in the earth beneath the waters below. Also, then you see in the New Testament, dear children, keep yourselves from idols. Idolatry is not just a physical object, it's also your belief. So when you have something that becomes priority over God, that is considered an idol. When something has priority over the Most High God, that is now an idol. Some people have made other people's religion and ideology above the word of God. Some people have made traditions of men above the word of God. That then turns into your idol. That's an idol in your life. Everybody with me? So the emphasis here is whatever receives priority over the Most High is an idol, can be seen as an idol. It's not always about taking an actual physical sculpture and bowing down to it. It's not always about that. You can put people in idol in your life. You can have, it's just funny because an idol distorts your relationship with God. That's how you know that it is a hindering, right? So when we're thinking about today, and we're thinking about systemic racism, right? I mean, how many of you have ever been a victim of racism? Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people, right? Or some people may not be, because my walk may not be the same as somebody else. And I'm going to also get to how this message came to be, because everybody has different experiences in this world, right? But when you say that you are a believer, you believe in the Most High God, you believe in his living word, and then you turn around and at the same time you're saying, okay, I can't do this because these people are racist. I can't succeed because there's racism. There you're taking away the power of God and you're replacing it with an ideology. Is everybody with me? I know a lot of people are not going to like this. Breezy says, like these singers of the world, right? They are made idols on this earth. And this is where they get the word, we call them stars or celebrity stars, because in ancient times, people used to worship stars. They were believed to be actual entities. It was idolatry, worshiping false gods. Even so, now, even in today's terms, they still call them stars. People still worship, in a sense, these people. Now, it's important to not have these idols in your life, because this is what, number one, you're not supposed to do it. This is a commandment of God. So if I'm a believer, you're a believer, and you are believing the word of God, that he says that he will do what he said he will do. He is a man of his word. He cannot lie. And you put all of your trust in him. And in the same breath, you turn around and say, this door was closed on me because of racism, or I cannot do this because these people are racist. Then you are denying the power of God. So you mean to tell me that the creator of heaven and earth, who owns everything, the Alpha and Omega, his power, the Ruach, his power rose the Messiah from the grave. He is a creator out of nothing. He made the earth out of nothing. So you mean to tell me this all-powerful God said, you know what? That door is closed because these people right here are racist. When you are using racism as a crutch through life, you are denying the power of God. God is more powerful than a racist. Yes, I said it. God is more powerful than these people that are telling you, hey, you can't do this because of your skin color or because you're a woman or whatever gender. So you're telling me that I should deny the power of God? Is everybody with me? It's not making sense. You have a creator that loves you. He knew you before you were in your mother's womb, right? That's in Jeremiah 29:11. He knows the plans for you of peace and prosperity. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. So he is not powerful enough to get through racism. And I'm going to be honest with you. This message came to me because I remember I told someone that the college I went to law school at NSU down in Florida. Before that, I went to FIU for my undergrad. All that's in Florida as well. My doctorate was in Virginia, and then second doctorate Florida. I never went to a HBCU. I never had the ideology that I couldn't get ahead because I went to a PWI, a predominantly white institution. I didn't have that rhetoric in my head saying, you know what, I think, you know, I need to gravitate to a certain group to be successful. You have to understand, look at all these people that are coming out of these Greek sororities and fraternities. They say that they got into them because they wanted a brotherhood or a sisterhood. They wanted to help the community. They wanted to have chances or basically have certain treatment when you meet your sorority sister or brother that could possibly, help you out with a job or a career change and things like that. Well, wait a minute. If I have to join a sorority or fraternity basically for a hookup through life, how is that being true to God? How is that me putting my trust in God? That's me putting my trust in man to get me far, not so I can trust and lean on him. Is everybody with me? It's the same concept. So I remember talking to this girl. She was a friend of mine, and she was so into just like HBCUs and things like that. And it was kind of like it was looked down upon with someone who did not have an HBCU experience. I did not have that. And I'm like, mind you, now this is a woman that is a devout Christian. She's a believer. She's actually a pastor. And the emphasis on how the world was so racist was striking to me, because this is coming from a pastor who should know that the word of God, that God is more powerful than racist. I'm not going to join a sorority because I'm scared I won't be able to make it through life. Seriously, I'm not going to shy away from the opportunities that God has put in my facility because I feel like I shouldn't be there. And let me be honest with you, a lot of this is coming from a self-esteem issue. Sometimes you feel inferior. Sometimes you feel like you don't belong. You feel it may not be what you're used to. So when you step into places where you are possibly the only white person or possibly the only Black person, it may feel different because you're not used to it, right? But does that mean that everybody around you is racist? Does that mean that you are going to a place to be a light We're called to be a light in the darkness. It doesn't say, oh, go. The Bible doesn't say go away because you think that these people are superior. When you're telling yourself and when you're feeling inferior and you're blaming other people, it's essentially, it's a circle that you can't get out of, because you go on through life thinking that everybody is out to get you, when, hey, there's a lot of opportunities that could have possibly been missed because you had a complex where you felt inferior and these other people were superior. Nobody is superior to you when you carry the spirit of the Most High God. Yeah, just like that. Breezy says, yeah, it's like you sold out if you didn't go to a HBCU or join the Greek, what is it, fraternity or sorority. Exactly. That's how this person was portraying, and it just kind of threw me for a loop, because I'm like, whoa, this is great, because I know people are like, wait, what do you mean this is great? It's great because everything lines up perfectly. There could be somebody right now who this message would be for. That experience that I had, who knows who that could help. So yeah, it was made to seem as if I sold out, or this world is such a big bad racist world where I could not get ahead unless I was willing to feel like I was inferior, when I am not inferior to anyone. When you carry God in your heart, when you're walking with Christ, doors will open. There will be times where, yeah, there may be somebody you have to serve or sit with that could possibly be a real racist, not just a perceived racist. And God may call you to minister to that person. You don't know how life will take you. And Breezy says, yes, it perpetuates the problem of racism. Exactly. Now, this is how you're making racism an idol. You're putting the racism, the ideology, above the word of God. If God tells you you're fearfully and wonderfully made, who am I to feel as if somebody else is superior to me because the color of their skin or my skin? See, that's the thing. You can't help how others feel about you. It's how you walk on this earth. You see, this is the problem. And I knew this was going to get tricky on this live stream, because I'm telling you the truth, a lot of people don't want to have this conversation because they want to go on through life thinking that they are a victim. God did not call us to have a victim mentality. Period, point blank. He didn't call us to feel inferior, because no one could say, I'm going to go out and this is how you're going to feel today. This is a choice to feel inferior to somebody. A lot of people I may have lost. I see there's like, a lot of people clicked off on this. They don't want to hear it. This is the truth. When you are telling these people that you have to have some type of organization for protection, you have to have some type of what is it, a group backing you for protection. Listen, I walk with the Spirit of God. If I go into a place and I'm the only let's say, the woman of color, Black person there, I don't feel inferior. And I would hope that if the roles were reversed, if a white guy comes into an Black, let's say, restaurant, barbershop, whatever, I would hope that this person doesn't feel superior or inferior to anybody else. This is the way that it gets like, okay, well, I need to know and work on myself so I won't feel as if somebody else is better. Reezy says, that's right. We should not feel victim or inferior to anyone. Of course, we walk with Christ. When you feeling something like an inferior feeling and your self-esteem is low, and you are looking at to somebody else as if they are superior to you, that's you making an idol out of a man. Some people have made narcissists idols in their life. They turned around, they turned away from the word of God, and basically did anything that the narcissist or toxic person wanted you to do. Some people have made their parents idols in their life. Pastors definitely made them idols in their lives. Because what is the idol again? It's the emphasis on putting priority of them over God. So if you put your pastor over the word of God, that's a problem. That's an idol in your life. How many times have you heard, or if you share with somebody something from the Bible and they go back and you know it's true because God said it's true, they go back and say, oh, I got to ask my pastor. What do you mean? The word of God is right here. Anything could be an idol. When you have an ideology such as racism, and you're living and you're telling yourself this, I can't go do that because, they're racist, or I think they want to think I'm, they're going to think I'm a certain way. I'm too good. I'm not good enough. And you're having all these things going on in your head. You've made racism an idol. You're saying, God, I can't finish what I need to do, what you called me to do, because I think these people are racist. Can you imagine when we all leave this earth, that when you leave this earth and you get to heaven and you're talking to God and he asks you, why didn't you do what I say? And you have the audacity to tell him they were racist. Really? You didn't do the word of God, or you didn't do the will of God because you thought something was racist or the people were racist? You've made these people an idol. I don't care what they're saying. You're there to do the job, and that's it. You're there to do your purpose on earth, and that's it. Nothing is impossible for God. He will open doors. He closes doors. Not racist. Not these people. They don't have the power to. Hello. Hi. Does everybody see where I'm coming from? And Breezy says, yes, ask your pastor. Heard that all the time. See? So, listen, when you are emphasizing an ideology where you are afraid to do something because of a perceived racism, you are now putting your beliefs over the will and the word of the Most High God. And you don't want to give anyone on this earth that much power. That is how you make racism an idol in your life. Keiki D, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you come type in the chat. I don't know if you just got here, but make sure that you type in your thoughts in the chat. But when you're believing that you're inferior, you're telling people that, hey, you're superior to me. We don't have that. When we walk with Christ, when we walk with Messiah, no, we don't. We get away from that type of thinking. You never know who God is going to use to help you. So we don't want to get into the ideology that I can't do anything because racism stands in my way. Okay. Yes, you heard that all the time. Yeah, I've heard that also, especially when you're reading the word of God and then you go and ask your pastor or talk to a pastor and they tell you something different, but in your heart what God said. You just made the pastor an idol. Remember, an idol is not always something you're bowing down to and worshiping as a physical statue. It's not always that. It could be a person, it could be somebody's beliefs. So nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible. Listen, I'm going to actually, oh, and thank you also if you listened to the message yesterday about the spirit of Titus. That was a good one. I got a lot of positive feedback on that. And make sure that you are actually hitting the bell notification. Hit the bell notification because, I start really I just get right into it. I know a lot of people be on here like 5-6 hours and I don't do that. I get right to the point. As you can tell, I'm just a no nonsense type A personality. Let's get it. Let's do this. Okay. If you also, there was another thing I wanted to say. Oh, look out for the morning messages that will be coming and starting very soon. Make sure you're just hitting that bell notification because the times could be funny for some people. I know that sometimes you like the night shows, sometimes you like the morning shows, all right? So one more thing before we get up off of here. When you are dealing with someone who is telling you that you can't do something because of racism, you tell them that you carry the power of God and no racist, no force on this earth can stop you. God is the one that is opening doors that no man can shut. No man can shut that. Not a racist man, not another man, any type of man. No human can shut the doors that God is opening. Does everybody understand that? This is really, I'm telling you, this is a really good one because I came from, yes, and Breezy says, make sure your notifications are set for all. This message came from someone, coming at me because I never joined any sororities, never had any Greek life. I don't have any, brother, sisterhood backing me, as if I needed that, or if you need that to be safe in this world. You have the power of God. Let's see, let's read through the chat. Breezy says, wow. Yes, it perpetuates the problem. Yeah. Again, God is the creator of everything. He's the Alpha and Omega. There's no way a racist has the power to stop what is flowing to you. You have to get out of the inferiority complex. These people are not superior to you. You belong in these circles. You belong in the places that you want to, affiliate to. You belong there. And we have to get away from the mindset of somebody else is better and I don't belong. You belong. You definitely belong. All right, listen, I am going to get up out of here. Make sure that, yes, no human can be your idol. Right. No, this, get away from idol worship, even when you're dealing with narcissists. Some people have abandoned all things God and basically worshiped by doing anything the narcissist wanted you to do. That's an idol. You just made a person an idol in your life. We don't want to do that. Same thing as you can for the ideology of racism. All right. So thank you so very much. And I will see you on the next video. Make sure that you get your copy of When Satan Plays Matchmaker, Exploring the Spiritual Side of Narcissism. Thank you guys so much. Bye.